Heru knock. Nah, I heard Baba. He covered. He covered.
All right. Peace and Black Power family, Hotep, and welcome to another Sonetta TV House of Conscience production. As you can see, I sit here with the Baba Heru. I'm here at the studio of Fatah. First of all, I'm going to ask you, brother, how you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm good. I'm never just giving thanks and praise. So I'm happy to be talking to the people out there.
Okay.
Give thanks.
How long you been in this business of making jewelry? Can you get the jewelry that you got for me, that you making for me? Do you have that on you? Oh, yes, there it is. Beautiful.
You said you wanted to see it.
Yes. I want you to show the people the jewelry that you're making for me. Brother Perry, come on over here, Perry, and hold the mic for the brother. Yes. So he can show my piece that I just got from him.
This here is this is the two becomes one. This is known as a man engagement ring. You know, many times we give the woman an engagement ring and the man walks around like he is not committed, right?
Right.
Or committed.
Oh, so that's a 2-in-1.
Yeah. So you're able to wear this, and then you put it into the wedding band like that. You see? So you have the ankh, two and two becomes one. All right? Now, yeah, and diamonds are around on the top here. And I get some non-conflict diamonds. Some of the brightest ones I get from Russia and other places. This here, Sonetta, when he saw this, he was sorry he came because he now got to spend all his money. This is this is the Heru, and this one we've got Heru crowned with a ruby on the top of his head because you know that warrior energy of Heru. We're gonna put for him. We're gonna put black diamonds in his eyes. You know, and this is Heru is the ruler of the two lands, Smaitawi. So in order to show that, I put behind here, I've got the papyrus blossom of the northern region, and the lotus of the southern region. Now in the lotus we've got the light blue topaz to symbolize the blue lotus, which is a very powerful energy, symbol of rebirth. Now it also happens that means that Heru is ruler of both hemispheres of his brain, that he covers both the two eyes of Heru, the eye of Ra, the eye of Ea, the moon, the white symbolizes the lunar energy, and of course the yellow symbolizes the solar energy. So these rings are always made with a powerful significance and meaning so that brothers and sisters can have these as living meditations, you know, to keep their mind centered on positive principles. You see, so...
Baba, so how much are each one of these pieces worth?
It all depends on how the individual wants it to be made. If it's made in silver, of course the price is much lower. Sonetta is a wealthy man, so he wants his all blinged out. So he wants the best. So it all depends on the kind of stones that you want, how you want it embellished, whether you want 14 or 18 karat gold. All of those things matter as far as pricing is concerned. Then, you know, a lot of people come and they want to know, well, what's the price of the gold? What's the price of the diamonds? But they never ask, well, what is your creative value? What is your creative worth? You see? And then again, what is your overhead? Here I am down in Chinatown. And you know this is the richest real estate spot in New York City. So you know my rent is high here. Yeah. So all of that is part of your pricing, your labor, the stone setter, the polisher, all that goes into the pricing. So when people say that, oh, it's too much, hey, it all depends on how your pockets are, you know. Absolutely. But I have something for everyone, and that's how I function. I try to give people what they not just what they want, but what they need, and we need things of meaning and significance in our lives. So that's what I do.
Yes, I'm very grateful for my piece. I have the Sirius.
Oh yeah, the ring
Sirius.
yeah, that's the star, Sirius star.
Yes, and I actually do use it for meditation. I had the aquamarine placed inside of it, which that stone is for deep meditation. Also on the pinky finger, which is the ether. So, just I had the same mindset as you do when you create your jewelry, as far as the teachings and for relating to our legacy. So yeah, it's not that he's over here getting all the your great artistry. And how long have you been in business, Bob?
I've been doing this work. I've been doing the work of the crafts for about 43 years. In our legacy, it takes about 42 years to reach your first level of mastership. People call me master now, but I don't claim that because I will always be in school. I will always be learning and developing, and I think that's the attitude we should have because Earth is a school. We come here to learn and to advance the cause of true civilization, which means you got to be civil. You cannot be human unless you are humane. And that's what we pursue by promoting the principles of Ma'at, righteousness, balance, order, truth, reciprocity, harmony, and all that kind of good stuff. Yes, sir.
Ancient Kemet, how do you show and prove that you are of the bloodline of the pharaohs, of the Kemetic people? Is that a proper name to call them, the pharaohs, or?
No, the word pharaoh never existed. The closest term to that word is Per'a, which means the great house, and that was mainly used around in the Grecian period, around 332 BC, when the Greeks came, the Romans, they were referred to as a Per'a. But that's also a term which means the great house, which can apply to the kings. But all of the kings had the title Heru, and the queens were Herut. The T is the determining factor of the feminine principle in our legacy. So as far as the bloodline is concerned, that's a cosmic heritage that all of us can claim. Because after all, the Nile Valley is the home of the first human beings. We come out from the Olduvai Gorge in Kenya, and let's remember this. The ancestors traced their culture back to Central Equatorial Africa and also the Sahara regions. When it dried up, people came all the way to the Nile Valley and met with brothers and sisters coming from the south, and together they laid the foundation of that great queen kingdom known as Smai Kawi. Many people feel that they speak about Kemet, but they never talk too much about Kush and about Kenset, which is now known as Nubia, or Tarseti or Tarsti, which is further down south, which is where the earliest kings came from. And each time we had an intermediate period when things had broken down, Ma'at was threatened. It always took a king or queen from the south to come and restore the order, you see. And now, of course, we have the Egyptologists trying to pretend that African culture had nothing at all to do with the development of the Kemetic civilization. So we are here to show and prove. And one of the things I tell people, that by doing the work of the hand, which is Ptah's work, the creative work, is how you prove that you own the culture. You see, we need to have ankhs in our homes. We need to have our bed sheets and our headboards with lotuses and papyrus carved in the wood. Our children need to be carving things again, and creating to enrich and continue the culture that was interrupted by some barbarians who came into our land.
The confusion that we have on the street when our children are going by, they will see Muslims out there and they will say, well, this is our culture. Then they will see Hebrews and they say, well, this is our culture. Then we will see the brothers like Shaka Utmost and brothers like Polite that represents ancient Kemet, and they teach that all of these sciences, all of these religions come out of ancient Kemet. And this is where the argument begins. Because the Hebrews will say, well, we always been here. We built the pyramids. We was enslaved in Egypt for 300 years. We built the pyramids. Then you would have the Muslims will say, well, Allah has always been here. You know what I'm saying? But guess what I found out? When you dealing with these brothers, none of them deals with dates. They don't give you a date. When you say, well, brother, what date was this? Or what date was that? Because, see, if you come up with a date, now we can show you what was going on at that time in Kemet, you see? But nobody comes up with a date.
Well, I think we can rely on our elders to give us a guideline. We have Dr. Ben, who tells us that Abraham came around, I think it was BC, sometime around there. And then Moses came after him, Yeshua. And you know, in the Bible, which shows that all of these prophets, all of these Shemitic prophets came into the Nile Valley and benefited from contact with the Africans of the Nile. You know, we have Abraham coming, him and his wife, and the book said they came starving because their God told them to go to a land that was overflowing with milk and honey. Well, when to the land of Canaan, there was no milk and no honey with a starvation. Where did they come to? Into Kemet. They went out richer than they came in because of the hospitality of the Africans of the Nile, who were there for thousands of years before Abraham came. And Meses, or who they call Moses, likewise, he, according to the book of Acts, 23rd chapter, 7th chapter, 23rd verse, that he was taught in all the wisdom of the Egyptians and was mighty in words and deeds. So even they admit that the ancient Kemetic people had wisdom. And Yeshua, his mother brought him there when he was 12 years old to escape the wrath of people who were trying to kill him up north. So again, we see that these major prophets benefited from contact with the Nile Valley Africans. So now how are you going to now turn against the very people who gave you the elements of what you have? The Ten Commandments, we are told, came or was given to Moses on Mount Sinai. If Moses was educated by our ancestors, he was educated as a scribe. He knew the Metuneter. He was educated in the 42 confessions of Ma'at, from which at least 7 of the so-called Ten Commandments come. So let's not fool ourselves with that stupid movie they made in Hollywood with Carlton Heston trying to be, some pharaoh or Moses and Yul Brynner being the pharaoh. Let me say one thing. We never used that word pharaoh. The name of the land was never Egypt. It doesn't exist on any papyrus. No temple wall will you find that word spelled out. So when they speak of the Egyptians, they're speaking of the foreigners. They are Egyptians. The Assyrians who came in 663, the Persians who came in 525 BCE, the Greeks who came in 332 BCE, the Romans who came in 32 BCE, the Arabs who came after the death of Prophet Muhammad in 640 AD, they are Egyptians, but they are not Kemites. They are not of the Nubian stock. They're not Nubian Kemetic Cushite people. So, and the thing is that I don't understand why they have this tug of war, because we're dealing with humanity's eldest ancestors, humanity's elder ancestors, and what they taught about Ma'at, about the sacred order of things, is for everyone to live by. Everyone can benefit from being Ma'at. And the Caucasians can benefit from Ma'at because they want to claim that they built the pyramids and they did all these sacred carvings in the temples. But what about the lifestyle? You show me King Tut's beautiful bust, but what did he live? And we were not into belief. We were into knowledge.
No, that's right.
You had to know. I always tell people
Either
that...
you know or you don't.
Or you don't.
We don't believe
That the people, I always say that a bee on a leaf gets no nectar. You got to go to the flower. You got to go to the blossom. So belief will not do it. And then we're in the age of I know, which is the age of Hapi, now called Aquarius. And that's the age of I know. Pisces was the age of I believe. But we've gone through Pisces, now we're coming to the dawn of the age of Aquarius, so we got to come to knowledge. Belief will not hold you. Belief will stand until knowledge knocks on the door, then belief got to sit down. I can make you to believe anything, but can you know it?
There you go.
You got to live it.
Through the beautiful years you have been studying ancient Kemet in Egypt. Well, we say in Egypt just for the sake of understanding for the people. Have you ever came across any knowledge of Egypt, Kemet, dealing in homosexuality at all?
In the 42 laws of Ma'at, it says, Nun naka hemet cha, not copulate I man wife. And that's said twice. Now, I don't know if there was any parenthesis, which means the possessive pronoun of man's wife. I don't know. All I know is I see, Nun neka hemet cha, not copulate I man wife. That's what it says. I do not know of that, but I do know that in the book of Genesis, we have Jacob, who later took the name Israel, saying to his sons, when you go down to Egypt, do not tell them that you are shepherds, because the shepherds are an abomination unto the Egyptians. That's in the book of Genesis. Now, why were they considered an abomination? Well, first of all, to come into our land, to come into our temples, you had to go into the holy pool and wash your feet. And since the sheep herders were wanderers with their flocks, they came with a certain odor that was not too beneficial to the noses of our ancestors. So their lifestyle was considered to be a little problematic from a hygienic point of view. And then we have the record of syphilis being spread by cohabitating with sheep. So I don't know of this, what they call of any homosexual activity, because it seems as if the laws of our legacy seem to prohibit that activity. Now, we have to look at what is the reason for this upsurge. You have to look at the foods that people are being fed. You have to look at the social media that can promote anything. And some people are very, how should we say, they will go for anything. And our people are very impressionistic, and unfortunately, for money, some of us will do anything. And that's part of what we see going on. However, I do not believe in hurting anyone. I don't believe in violence. And there are members of our families who have a certain lifestyle, and we have to deal with them with a certain understanding, a certain compassion, tolerance, and also trying to comprehend what happened. So many of our youth have been molested in churches. Yes. Not only the Roman church, but in our own church. Okay? And when you get a child before his adolescence, he will be confused sexually, or she, for the rest of their lives. And so now that, and we have to look at what is being fed to the animals. There are many hormone-altering substances being fed to the chickens. Stilbestrol is one that gives men breasts and women mustaches. Another one is the atrazine, which turn male frogs into females. So we have and that's a fertilizer, I think. So we have all of these substances that is causing a lot of havoc with the hormonal shifts in our brothers and sisters. And then the very agencies that allow this then turn around and persecute the people who have been shifted because of these poisons put into the food supply. So we have to be very careful how we approach this whole subject, okay, because there are things that we do not know what has been done to create this situation. And then we live in an androgynous age. This is the age of Hapi. Hapi means a dual vital force. Each of us, and you learn this when you go to karate school, that there is a yin and the yang, that each man has a little of the feminine in him, each woman has a little of the masculine in her. We see our sisters have had to raise up their yang force in order to survive, because things have been made so tough for our brothers that many of them have ran off. So the sister had to be both mother and father to her sons and her children. So we have to look at these situations that are created to grow a population that is being persecuted. Look at the jails, where they're housing young men with criminals who are sex-starved, okay? Look at the boys' homes. Hey, look at the Boy Scouts, all right? There's a big scandal about what's happening in the Boy Scouts. Look at the Roman Church, okay? So all of these things are causing a tremendous upheaval in our community. And it seems that our community has never been so inclined to welcome that lifestyle. However, since it's here, we have to be very careful how we deal with our brothers and sisters of all hue and of all persuasions. I do not advocate persecution of anyone. I don't advocate killing or hurting anyone. I carry a sign of life. And when I was a police officer, I carried this. Because if I'm going to ask to carry the gun, then I got to carry my sign of life too. Because life and death are just two doors to the same, how shall we say, the same future.
And real quick, how long did you carry the Ankh as a police officer?
I carried the Ankh from the day I started making Ankhs, okay? It got me in some trouble. But the fact is that I held on to the Ankh because it is life to me. And I used to use it as a teaching tool on the beat. And as I told people, that's how we used to clear the corner, by coming on talking about African culture. Oh, we don't want to hear that, and they walk off. So just get off my post so I can have peace and quiet and just do my job.
You know, that's the way it used to be back in the days when I was coming up. I remember the black officers that would come through my block as a little kid. The officers, the brothers would come by and talk to you, you know, and just because they come from our culture. They live right in the hood with us. So they'll come by and they build with you and they talk to you. Now you look at it today, 2015, these dudes look like they come from Russia. You know what I'm saying? From Germany, these cops, they don't, I mean, you can see the stone. They face the stone. They don't care nothing about our people.
Well, you see, let's people will say we are blaming the victim, but look here. Because of the condition of economics in our community, the things that we do to each other for survival purposes have us killing each other with nickel bags. And when police officers who come to protect the community, that's what their job is supposed to be, to prevent crime, that's what I was taught in the academy. If you see that we are not showing as much regards for each other's lives, then how will we expect anyone else to care about us if we don't seem to care about ourselves? If we are killing each other at the rate of like 22 every time a cop kills us, then what are we to expect? That's the reason why I say we have to establish a Ma'atian code. And this Ma'atian code of behavior must be handed and given to everyone, including the police officers. They have to be introduced to Ma'at, to harmony, to justice, to truth, to order, to balance, you see. And that begins, too, with what goes into our belly. What goes into our eyes, what we see on television, what we hear. All that is food that makes you who you are, okay? And so I propose that, that police officers take more time to get to know the people that they serve. And that's what I did, because I love my people. I love people, period. But if you come trying to get smart with your anthropological elder, I will surely put you in your place.
Let me ask you this, because this is the question that always comes up with the youth, with the young brothers and sisters out there. If we was this great people that built the pyramids, that, you know, that was the kings and the queens, how did we let a little minute people come and take power from us? How did we fall?
That's a very easy answer. First of all, let's deal with the cycles of time. It's spring now. The trees were bare during the winter, were they not? Mm-hmm. Now it's spring, they're coming back again. The leaves are coming back again. So are nations, so are civilizations. They are born, they grow old, they die. But not to stay dead. Some resurrect and come back again like we are, okay? So we see a baby is born, comes to middle age, gets old, and dies. However, just the body dies, the spirit continues. And if there's work to be done, will return. All right? So when people ask, well, what did you do to cause your demise? You just were around long enough for it to happen. It's that simple. It's time. It's the element of time that causes the rise and falls of nations, of civilizations, of people. However, I must say that in finding our way back, we are called upon to embrace Ma'at. And that means that we have to begin to address the condition of our bodies. This here is the temple. Not that the ones that we built out of stone. That was a replica of the human body. So we are called upon again to restore, to serush Ma'at, restore Ma'at in our lives. And beginning with cutting down on all the acidity of our diet, all the flesh foods we're eating. That encourages violence. You kill a chicken, you kill these animals, that goes into your belly, you're eating the stress of the animal, and it's going to come out in your behavior. It's going to come out through your mouth, you know. If you are working and you're eating, you get up and you're going to be eating a hero for breakfast or for lunch and hot dogs and burgers. Right?
I go out, it's about 1 o'clock. I do.
Yeah, well, yeah, well, you see, sometimes that, but you see, you have to know how to catch yourself
My brother be trying
before.
to get me to eat right. I'll be listening.
Yeah, but you know, we are, Sonetta, a lot of us are addicted to certain foods, and that addiction goes into our genes. You know what our family, the people say that disease runs into the family. No, disease runs through the family because they all have the same eating habits. Okay, so and you notice that when you start to shift, your family will accuse you of eating rabbit food. But guess what?
Yes.
Rabbits proliferate. They're very sexual. So if you want to have more virility, you have more oxygen, eat more greens, brothers, and flush out your prostate gland because you are polluting the sisters with the acidity of your sperm
How do you do that?
by neutralizing the acidity.
How do you flush out your prostate gland? How do you do that?
First of all, by eating more green, drinking just plain water. Forget about Coca-Cola, forget about pizza, forget about Pepsi and 7-Up and all of those sugar. Sugar, as a supernova will tell us, is one molecule away from crack cocaine. We have to listen to our elders, the healers among us, like Dr. Africa, Queen Afua, Dr. Sabi, and so many others who are their students. And we will get back on track. But to flush the prostate gland, we have to use as a preventive method, the Saw-Palm method, because when you come to a certain age, all men have cancerous cells in their prostate. Whether they become activated will depend upon how much acid you keep pouring into your bloodstream. If you eat a lot of heavy stuff, a lot of meat, the paste of starch and sugar, it's going to rest on the floor of the prostate and start to mutate and start to eat away at the lining of the prostate. And then it's going to metastasize and go to the bone. And then you have what they call cancer, you see. Now, if our sperm is acidic and our women do some cleansing, because the women are the teachers, they usually do the cleansing and the fasting and so on. If we don't, when the woman has cleansed her body and we are not cleansing, we are going to bring our pollution back to her. So if we truly love our women, we'll protect them because we are killing them with our penises, and our henenum, I should call it. That's the proper term. And also, like I said the other day, that we have to also begin to think in a positive way, because the thoughts that we are processing when we are making love, if we are only getting our lessons from porno movies, we're going to be abusing our women. We're going to be abusing ourselves. So these are things that our elders teach us. The healers among us are teaching these things, and we just have to listen. A colonic irrigation is also an emergency method. It's best to clean through the mouth. However, a lot of us need to do some colonic irrigation. I think all of Washington, D.C. needs a colonic, because when you're conserving stuff, you're holding on to some poisons, you know.
And I would like to say one thing about...
For those of us out there who don't know what a colonic perversion is, I want you to tell them what that is. See, you got to do that. Because there's people that don't know.
All right. A colonic irrigation is like an enema, but the only thing, the water comes in and it removes waste out in a continuous cycle. And it removes the old impacted waste from the walls of the colon and the walls of the colon. And so when we eat a lot of pasty foods, a lot of flesh foods, a lot of starch foods, a lot of sugar, these pastes adhere to the walls of the intestine, and it stays there and it festers, and sometimes can cause diverticulitis when a pocket of food gets stuck and it begins to fester and smell. And I always tell people that when you break wind, that will give you a cue as to how dirty your colon is. If the colon is dirty and the colon is resting right next to the prostate gland, it means your sperm is dirty. I've seen sperm with 2 heads, 2 tails, like they've been in a bar fight. And you make a baby with sperms like that, you got crazies walking around here. Okay? So we have got to clean up our act.
How long have you been a vegetarian?
Since 1960,
How long have you been a vegetarian, Baba?
since 1969. But I was more of a starchitarian vegetarian because I grew up in the islands, and down there, you have a lot of tanya and yam and cassava and potato and ting. And so when I came to America, I really, that's when I shifted my dietary practice. In 1969, I made a total turnaround and became a vegetarian. And as I followed the methods taught by our healers, Queen Afua, Dr. Sebi, and others, I began to refine my dietary intake to get more green, because we are melanoid people. Therefore, where does the sun lives on earth? If we are people of the sun and the sun lives on earth in chlorophyll, then it means we should be eating chlorophyll. Look how big the elephant grows with just eating grass. Okay? So the cow's the same thing. The bull. When people say BS, I say bullshit is clean. It's the human shit that I'm concerned about. And if we bring that feces into the womb of our women with some brothers who are confused about their sexuality and are doing this download thing, you're bringing poison into the house of life. The womb is the cleanest heaven in a woman's body, and it wants to stay that way. That's why when the woman has an acidic diet, she will have a discharge, because the womb wants to clean out all that stuff. And so we have to, if we truly love our women, we have to come to them with a clean organ. As a matter of fact, I tell sisters, tell the brother to come to you from your crown chakra first before he can ever come near the root, okay, which is down south, all right? And if we do this, then we will have a better, a greater discipline about our sexuality, because we are way off. I think both heterosexuals and people of other sexual persuasions are abusing this procreative energy, which is used not for just making babies, but for fulfilling your dreams. If you know what to do with your sexuality, you can be a giant among your brothers and sisters, okay? And you can conserve. I tell brothers that from new moon to full moon, indulge to your fullest extent. After the moon falls for 14 days, relax. Don't have too much sex. Still show your woman that you care for her. Human touch is very important. The human significance of skin. I think Robert Audrey wrote that book, The Touch, the human significance of skin. And we are really called upon to clean up our act across the board, especially in our sexuality. Listen, that information is so available now. It'll be sort of redundant, but people are on me to write this book, and I tell them my art has become my book. My rings, my pendants, all of these are chapters and pages in my book, which are going to outlast even the printed word, because that's what you see preserved in the museums. And I always tell people, if you want to show that you own this culture, be creative in the culture, in the emblems of the culture. For your household purposes, around in your furniture, it should reflect who you are. It should reflect your culture. And your wedding band, people came to our land, busted up our families, brought us over here in chains. We're putting our families together, and still we have to rely on them to give us the very symbol of our union? I don't think so, but that's what we've been doing. People, brothers and sisters, come and they say, do you have any traditional wedding bands? I says, whose tradition? Your African tradition or someone else's? And you see, we need to get respect. And if we don't show respect for ourselves and our ancestral lineage, who is going to respect us? It's that simple.
Show my wedding band one more time. This is Brother Sonetta. He gonna show you my wedding band that I got from the brother, and it's custom made. So we want you to know. You got it on your finger?
No.
Oh no, you don't got it,
I don't.
Brother Heru.
Sonata's wedding band.
You're gonna see he makes these the way you want it to be made. That's why you got to come down here, see the barber, and he custom designed them to make you happy, family.
Put it inside.
So you're gonna see how mine's look right now, and also the one that I just got right here is bad. You're gonna see. All right. I'm just showing off right now. I got to show mine to the world.
And you know,
Don't take it nowhere else. Let them stay.
no, I'm on the same thing. Sonetta's not the only celebrity that Baba has made jewelry for. Baba has absolutely made jewelry for Khalid Muhammad,
Yes.
Erica Badu,
That's right.
Andre 3000, as well as Common, correct?
No.
No? Okay.
I would
Well,
love to
I'm
do some work for Common,
all right.
Unfortunately, not yet.
Common, we looking for you. Come on through 55 Christie Street, Chinatown, and
You have it inside.
he's done Dr. Ben's first Ankh. And speak on who else have you done work for, celebrity wise?
First one right there, the one I'm getting.
Wesley Snipes as well.
No, this one right here, the double.
Oh yes, I showed this before.
Yeah, show it.
Yeah,
Let
I
them
sh-
see it. I want to see it again.
This son has his new piece. See, it's I say this is the engagement ring, this wedding band. So now he's got one goes into the other. So the rings get married. Now, yeah, where's his band? This is his band here. Now this guy is very fine details. On the plume of the Ma'at feathers, there are little diamonds. In the Ankh, there's a diamond. In the eyes of Heru, there are little diamonds. And this is his wedding band. He gave me a wedding band that he was wearing in order for me to do the size for him. So when his queen saw him without his band, she had a fit. But then when I came to the theater and to the National Black Theater and I took this out, she says, "Ah." So then he didn't get beat up. You see, so
She was saying,
Right.
"Where's your ring at?" Let me see.
yes. No, Heru, no one should see this until the owner sees it first. Okay. So it would not be fair to that person. Okay. So again, what are we filibustering?
No, you made. I named a few different celebrities that you've done jewelry for.
Yes.
Am I correct by saying you also made jewelry for Dr. York?
I recall once one of his followers asked me to make a piece for him.
And those cuffs that you're wearing right now, you made those exact same cuffs for Andre 3000, right?
Yes, I have years ago. Yes, definitely. So yes, I've made a few for some of the notables, and I'm amazed that I don't get more work from hip hop artists.
Yes.
You know, I'm saying that Heru.
Yes, Kanye.
When he wore that, I was surprised that many people said, "Well, why didn't you go to Baba Heru? Why didn't you go to Heru Semahj?" But obviously they don't know about me. What happens with some celebrities, I do work for Keith David too, is that each celebrity wants to be unique. So they want to protect their source. They don't want other people to know where they get their stuff. You know, so for years, you know, I was being hidden. And still to a certain degree, I'm still being hidden. And I need to say to my brothers and sisters out there, please, please get into this craft. Because when we enter this craft, our imagination and the ancestral legacy that we can borrow from in terms of the symbolism that we put into our work will have a greater way of helping to awaken the ancestral and hereditary memory of our brothers and sisters. So let's wear the emblems of our culture. Let's show that we are proud of who we are. And I'm not saying that we should throw away everything we got from the West. No, because, I mean, we were first here, too. You see, you read what our brother Ivan Van Sertiman said, and they came before Columbus. I made him an Ankh, too. Judge Bruce Wright got an Ankh from me, from my hands, too. Okay?
He don't know who Judge Bruce
And,
Wright is.
oh, yeah, that's what they call Cut 'em Loose Bruce. Yeah.
And I would also like to say that like you were saying about the hip hop artists not coming here and supporting you so much, is that there's some hip hop artists that are getting deeper into the culture. You have a brother from Young Money, Tiger, and his.
Tell Tiger to come on down. The
Yes.
lion is waiting for you.
Yes, absolutely. He the name of his clothing line is called The Last Kings, and he uses a picture of a pharaoh as the logo. And I say, I think he has a chain of like the pharaoh, but I knew that he didn't get it from you. So Tiger, we waiting on you down here at Studio Patah. You come down here and get you an official comedic piece.
Let me mention our brother who does the pharaonic. The pharaonic garb. Brother Pharaoh, he does some. I got one of his jackets. Of course, I had to alter it and put some wings on it because I put the wings. Oh, yeah, I ordered some T-shirts from brother from pharaonic. Yeah, he does some great work. Them wings of Heru Behutet. And there's something I want to show our brothers out here, if I may. King Tut is seen on the temple walls and wearing his kilt. And the back of the kilt goes up, okay? So that no matter how much it falls down, you will never see the crack of his glass, And let me show this design, if I may lift the back of my pants here. You see, we made this so high. You see how it fits there? You see how it goes up?
Yes. Yeah, I see.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yes.
You see this?
Yes. Like a band.
Okay.
Like a.
Yeah, it goes up.
Right.
So no matter how low the pants falls, you're not going to see any crack there. We got to have and maintain our dignity.
Yes. It's called Man Up, Pull Your Pants Up. Man up, pull your pants up. Right. And that comes straight from Kemet. Give thanks.
And this I call the Tut Cut. Okay, this is my design called the Tut Cut. And I invite our brothers and sisters to go to your tailors and have them make some of this stuff for you. Jeans is Jean. And
so in closing, my brother Baba Heru, in closing, if one wished to contact you, how do they go about that? And how do they go about that? Letting them know that you make their choice, their design. They come down, you invite them to come to the studio and see what they like, and then you design it for them. Come on there, sir. I like to talk to our to my clients because I like to feel their energy. This is a very spiritual work for me. It's not just because for years I've been paying my business. It has not been paying me. So consequently, I'm because of Sonetta now. Maybe I may be able to get paid because now the brothers and sisters will know now who are coming into consciousness. And I need to say this. I am so happy to see the young people coming into this legacy. And I don't care what route they come through. I don't care if they come Kemet Street, the Hotep. I don't care. Eventually, if they stay with it, they're going to go deeper and deeper because this legacy is something like a magnet. It'll pull you deeper and deeper into the beauty and the revelation of our ancestral culture, And even though we are not able, all of us, able to get on a plane and go and see it, and we better hurry up because there's some wicked people who are trying to cover up the origin of this ancient civilization. And all of humanity would suffer, not just our people, but all of humanity would suffer if they are successful in destroying those monuments. Okay? So let's get with it. In closing, I want my elder to let the people know where they can find them, how they can contact them. Do we got an email? Do we have a website? And, close out with that. And then you can.
And also that what you see on the website is 20 times more pieces than what you have on the website. You have over 2,000 different pieces, designs.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's just a drop in the bucket, as they say. And so I welcome my brothers and sisters to come with your ideas. So put some of your own personality in what you wear, and I will bring it forth. And the website is studioofpatah.com. The email is info@sopatah.com. And that's the Studio Patah New York Instagram, and also Studio Patah New York Facebook. Okay, so I'm got all the credentials that people need to be able to get in touch with me. And you can call 212-343-9706. That's 212-343-9706. Call me. I want to talk to you. It's not just about our fingers on plastic, typing in stuff. We're losing our humanity. I want to talk to you, feel your energy. So when I design the stuff for you and I do my prayers, my chants as I do the work for you, I'll put some power into the work for you.
Let's say, because people watch my show all over the world. Let's say they in Europe somewhere. Let's say they, they might be in Miami somewhere, Australia. How do we make that contact with them? Because sometimes they might not be able to make a trip. Because a lot of people call me up, oh, brother, I would love to get one of them rings. How do I get that?
No problem. Call me, go on the internet, and I can deal with you. I've sold it to people in Australia. Matter of fact, an Australian shaman came to visit me here. He was, doing the rounds of New York, but I had already shipped something to him down there. England, a lot of brothers and sisters in England, they call me or they send the email, and I'm able to. Today, there's no barrier between us and the clients. Yes. Wherever they may be in the world, they can be served, and we are ready to serve. Okay. info@sopatad.com, again, is the email, and studioofpatad.com is the website. 212-343-9706. That's 212-343-9706. Sonetta, I want to thank you, my brother.
Oh, man, I want to thank you.
Oh, give honors and praise.
Hold up. I want to thank you. I'm sorry it took this long for me to come down, but I've been in my own world trying to wake my people up. And even Perry would come down, yo, brother, you got to go down and see Baba Heru. I'd be like, Perry, I'm busy right now, but I'm going to get there. So I've been busy trying to wake my people up on my ground. I know you've been doing your job. And once again, family, if you let the brother know when you call in that you've seen it on Sarnetta TV, you will get a discount. All right? So call the brother Baba. Thank you, my brother Baba. Love you.
Thank you, man.
Give thanks.